Sound resumed.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday night special. I'm Tav. I will be casting tonight. With me, I have Spagina, our usual Friday guy. Say hi, Spag.
Hi, Spage.
There you go. With him, a fellow man from the future, Chris. Say hello, Chris.
Morning, afternoon.
Do you really not know what it is there?
Oh shit! It's 11:30 or
Whatever.
so.
And then
Close enough.
our normal American guy, Chip Chickens, with the lovely voice. Hello, Chip.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
All right. Well, now that we got everybody here for our wonderful bro stream, this little non-shock night as we get to watch him play. You'll see that up a little bit later, but it's week 3, Friday night. Future Crew versus GAB should be a awesome matchup. Hopefully. Let's see. We were playing on Wokuk Ecological Preserve, same as last night. For those that were around to watch it, it was pretty entertaining. I think a lot of people actually had a lot of misgivings going to the match, but like the AC Soul X match last night was pretty awesome. So we can have close matches.
Yeah, those matches yesterday were fun as hell to watch.
User left your
and
channel.
as fun as it was for people watching, I think the actual players still kind of aren't crazy about the map just because it's so difficult to
Disconnected.
play on. But yeah, it's a great watch for everybody at home.
Yeah, I think from the practice games that we've played on it, I think it will be a very similar map in the way it plays out to Fallbridge from last season. In that if you get pushed off the point, you're going to have a really rough time getting back onto it. But if you can sort of maintain a little bit of control, even if you get nearly wiped in any of the buildings, it makes your life so much easier trying to get back into the point and then subsequently take it back.
So go start doing a little bit of a flyover. I think a lot of people probably saw this last night for the loyal viewers, but it is a lot of people shooting around there. But there's some difficulties with the map, and a lot of people have actually questioned like why is it in the rotation? And Shock covered on this a little bit last night, but really the answer is because I wanted it. And the reason for that is there needs to be a map that is difficult to play on. Like it's a struggle. It's hard to do. You need to have good teamwork and timing and communication and all the fun stuff that you have instead of just a run and gun kind of philosophy that people have in some of these other maps that we've done that they're pretty simple, easy maps. So that's why we have it, and it was good. We needed a replacement for Fallbridge, and that's why it's there.
And any map with a ton of wall jumps is definitely an okay map for farmers.
Yeah,
I don't know how much Shock got to film people doing the wall jumps, but this map is freaking ridiculous with them.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about this map in general is just the amount of trees that are there that kind of hinder the camera work. But otherwise, I don't really have too many complaints about it.
Have you done any practicing with the camera work? Trying to dodge all the leaves?
Absolutely not.
Nice. Yeah, this is going to be good.
What's the worst that could happen?
Whatever.
From the practice games that GAB have done with Solex and AC, roof heavies are just nuts on this map because there's so many different spots that they can sit, and there's so many weird sort of off angles that you can watch from various spots that you would think that you wouldn't be able to get to. And for the team that's pushing in and attacking the base, it's really frustrating to deal with because you get killed by someone that you've got no idea where they are because they're holding some weird off angle, like half hanging out of a tree or up on a railing or something that you just wouldn't expect to see.
You actually bring up an interesting point too, because every roof a heavy can be on that you can jump up to, and while that seems like okay, great, we'll just have heavies up there, it actually makes light assaults that much more important because you have to have somebody that can aggressively attack the heavies that aren't going up just on the jump spots. So while you can put a heavy anywhere and they can shoot people, like it actually enhances the light assault gameplay.
And Chris, can you give us a little insight into GAB's strategy here? How often have you guys practiced scat maxing on the roofs?
Scat maxing on the roof hasn't come up, but I mean, if you're at the point where you're pulling a max on this map, I reckon you don't have the roofs to get on, and I mean, you know, scat maxes are only good at close range guys, so you know we'll just have to, you know, not.
I,
deal with
I
that.
wish that was true. As a fan of all
We all do.
like non-NC empires, that's not true.
The
Chris.
scat maxes don't work outside of 10 meters, guys. So the scat maxes on the roof won't be too useful.
You're drinking the
I can
Reddit
imagine
Kool-Aid
the
way
donuts on the roof would be
way
pain.
too much.
Chris, I gotta say I'm really disappointed in GAB now, and now I kind of wish that I kind of hope that GAB doesn't win because I was really hoping to see scat maxes chasing light assaults around these roofs, and you're telling me that we're not going to see that?
I'll put a
Send
last
to the
minute
tail.
word in, but I mean, you know,
Yeah, you
there's
need to
a
get
reason
over
I'm
there and
here
make that
casting and
happen.
not playing.
All right, well, let's get into the rosters for tonight. So feature crew, we'll start with them. Shock, the obvious one on here. He's not casting. He's actually playing. He and I have actually put a lot of time into doing the whole farmers thing, and while he really wanted to do casting prior, like he really started to get that player's itch. So I got him on the roster, and he probably won't be able to be doing too many games. But we kind of targeted this one at the start of the season of, hey, yeah, we can get you in there. Let's see how you do. And all of us here are really excited to watch him almost exclusively and see how he does. It should be fun.
Can't wait to see him out from behind the mic.
Yeah, he's done really well in our practices. So he's probably going to be better than me here, which is fine, especially against a really good team. And anyway, so we have McCock 61, the obvious standout. 404, he's going to be sniping tonight because actually the lack on the roster is also 1G. He will not be here. He's off on a business trip, so future crews are definitely going to feel that loss. But 404 actually did a really good job last year, so he can step in there. With that, Vert, Shark Spider, and Yoxin. And Yoxin is also it's not a new face for a lot of people, but he hasn't played with us yet this year. Unfortunately, Stuke also had to be gone on a business trip, so as our usual light assault, he's stepping in there. He hasn't really played much planet side, so let's hope he isn't bad.
Yoxin making his glorious return to PlanetSide. Tev, how much max gameplay are we going to see out of Yoxin tonight? Like, how much cheese?
Honestly, probably not that much, because if it really came down to it, it'd probably be Vert pulling like a pounder or something like that. So there may actually be max play. I'm not ruling it out, but I just don't think that Yoxin would step away from the light assault game too much. All right, so GAB side, NC, the good side, unfortunately.
The one that I won the toss for.
Yes,
more
Chris
importantly.
won the coin toss. I lost the coin toss.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
That's my contribution to the team. I won the coin toss and got us the good empire.
All right, so we got Exoset, Calo, Kilo, Solus, Yod, and Best Assassin. It's a pretty normal lineup. I'm seeing Best Assassin wasn't there last week, I believe.
Yeah,
User disconnected
I
from
think
your
I
channel.
can't
Jeez.
remember, but Best couldn't make it last week. I think I don't remember why he wasn't there, but he wasn't there. We had Soundwaves run last week as light assault to see how he went for his first game, and we swapped Calo into heavy. Calo will be playing light assault as usual. Basically everybody knows. Well, most people would know who's going to be playing what from the GAB side of things. It's, as you said, a pretty sort of standard roster from us.
Now, Chris, can you tell me, is this the A team for GAB?
Well, I'm not on it, so yeah, it's the A team basically. I've graciously given up my spot because they're better than me. Basically, is what it boils down to. This is the best team we can put out there, without a doubt. I'd say.
Yeah, it's
There's
all right,
probably
man.
There'd be a few people who could slot in and do just as good of a job off the list, but yeah, this is the A team
You know what they say, if you can't play, cast.
basically.
Okay, so if Calo's going to be the main light assault, which is what I would expect, if you wanted to go in a route where you're going to have more light assaults, who's going to step in there? Is it going to be Kilos?
If we need a second light assault, probably Yod will fill in, and we'll drop him out of heavy. Will be what's most likely going to happen. Given that he played light assault in our season of Farmers, the Australian season, he played light assault, so yeah, he'll probably be the guy to go to for that.
All right, fair enough. If someone's going to be the max shitter, who will it be?
Solus is a pretty professional max shitter, and Calo. Calo Araxian his blue shifts in the space of a day when Zoe was still a thing, so he's a dirty max shitter.
All right, well, so we got the start of the match here. I didn't hear the 30-second beat, but whatever. We're following the GAB guys in, shooting some rockets towards, as we like to moniker it, the main building, because it's the primary building of access. Light assault straight to the roof. Not too many kills going on. We got one kill for each side.
Yeah, Shark Spider just picked off one of the GAB guys through the main building, and then I think they traded one out.
It looks like
Callow's.
You're right. This camera work is going to be a little interesting with these trees, but we'll try to follow along here.
It looks like Gab managed to get to the point first.
Yeah, they got 3 kills now. 3 to 2 kills. It's pretty quiet actually. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more going on. Unless the
Shock has picked up his first kill, asserting his presence, but then he goes down to Kilos.
Oxen looks like he finally kind of joined the fight. I'm not sure where he was to begin with. He's on the roof. I don't see the GAB light assault anywhere.
Callow was sitting by the small building. I think he ran into a heavy though. I'm not sure. I looked away. Oh no, they're running into the small building. I think I just saw a flash of palm time go past my screen. That's either Callow or Kilos.
The Oxen's wisely kind of just hiding while the rest of his team is respawning and kind of getting back into place. There's no point for him just to try to get a kill or two and lose his actual positioning.
Yeah,
As you were saying that, he went for the pick and got shot, but he's still alive.
Yeah, it's what we found during all that practice games, that if you get close to white, if you can maintain a person or two in one of the buildings, it gives you a much better chance of getting back on the point successfully, because you've got, you know, some level of control of the map.
So it looks like Callow and Solus kind of ganged up on Yoxin on that roof, cleared him off, and everything's pretty quiet here. It looks like Future Crew's just kind of dead and out of the building.
It's Shark
there's one of
Spider
them in
against the
top of
world
main
right now.
building. Shark Spider just went down in the top of the main building. But yeah, Solus will be up on that roof a lot. Being a dirty info, running around in the trees.
Tev, what can we
some
expect
cheap
out of
kills.
Future Crew to get this point back?
The main way I kind of explain to these guys, or we try to practice it, is that it's a lot like Fallbridge was in the sense that it's so hard to get back, so you have to kind of rely on getting a pick or two first to try to move into a weak spot. You can't just single file in. If we start to see Future Crew run in one at a time, then this match is more or less already over. We need these guys grouping up, kind of trying to hit a hard spot after getting a kill or two, and hopefully maybe getting Yoxin on the roof and getting a kill like he's doing right now.
Yeah, he just picked off Best on a roof somewhere, I think. But yeah, I think to get back onto the point, you've got to go as, you know, a group of 4 heavies and just trade your way up the stairs if you need to do that, because you can't just go in one at a time, because you'll just get smashed running upstairs, or, you know, through a window or something to that effect. You need to go in and pick on one person while they're watching one flight of stairs with everybody, and then, you know, work your way through them, because you just won't do it one at a time.
I haven't seen any yet, but are any Future Crew carrying shotguns to?
I heard a
go
shotgun
toe-to-toe
earlier.
with
I believe Vert might be.
Vert
If I
might
had to guess, it would probably be Vert. So we'll
Yeah,
try to
'cause-
find him
yeah.
and see what he does. But I did hear one earlier as guys traded off.
Yeah, Gab's.
Yod will be our dedicated jackhammer shitter. He's been putting a lot of practice in.
Did you guys only bring one jackhammer?
Oh, look, if needs must, I'm sure there could be more pulled, but Yod's got the jackhammer sticker. That's right.
Nice.
So Future Crew has control of the
Dedicated jackhammer.
point for now. It seems like they're kind of losing people. Let's see what this Callow can do to try to take people out.
Future Crew have got 2 heavies stacked up at the base of the main building that are just pushing up the stairs now.
Yeah, Future Crew's back on their heels. Gab's got the point secured back again.
Oh, yeah, here's
All
Vert with the
people are
barrage. Here we go. Some barrage action. Yeah, 2 kills for him. Go Vert.
What a dirty man. Callow's going in man fighting 2 heavies and gets shotgunned for his troubles.
Looks like we've got multiple shotguns, or maybe it's still just Vert. Is he still alive? I thought he died.
No, Vert's still running around in that top of the main building getting a lot of dirty kills.
Just follow him around and just... Alright, so we're about 5 minutes into this match. Let's do our obligated shock checkup. Let's see how he's doing. Let's pull up the scoreboard here. Maybe. Alright, we got it up. He's at a whopping -8 right now. He's a 1 in 5. That's a 100% headshot ratio though, so that's pretty good. Let's see who's... EXO really seems to be the one standing out actually in the match in general, besides the word shotgun. 9 and 4. Doing a really good job of clearing out the point up here.
Yeah, so he's really been, you know, sort of the go-to guy on the team for this season. He's both, yeah, he's basically taken over my job because he's better at it than I am, basically. So yeah.
EXO already at 9 kills. Did you guys have a specific role for him in this match, or is he just kind of getting the picks where he can? Oh my goodness.
EXO will just be wheeling around and shooting people.
He put up a nice flank, got mid building cleared out for GAB right there.
Yeah, he'll be telling people where and what to do to some extent. We don't really have sort of set plans going into these things, but he'll be the one telling people what to do.
Kind of the de facto leader of the squad for this match.
Effectively, yeah, and he's seems to be consistently putting up good numbers with the kills.
I believe the telling thing actually right now for Future Crew, they're only down by what, 17 points, something like that right now. They haven't lost too much control of the point. They're just doing a pretty good job of keeping that, kind of bouncing back and forth in the other way. But the 404 just got his first kill now, 7 minutes into this match. Like if Future Crew actually wants to win this match, they're gonna have to have him start to pull off some good holds. Like he needs to be in a position where not only just getting kills, but he needs to start slowing these reinforcements down. That's a big thing about this base. If you ever get a kill, the guys that are coming from the spawns, they're so exposed. Like you could do such a good job of holding them off at range rather than just waiting on the point for them to come up these stairs. You actually need to be a lot more proactive and aggressive on the holds. It's like these
Solus is really good at the whole, pushing around and trying to kill people as an infill. Obviously, sometimes he goes a bit too far and gets himself shot by 4 heavies at once, but he's really good at, going and being where he needs to be to get some cheap kills to make life easier for the rest of them.
Future Crew has re-secured the point and setting up a defense.
They actually caught up a huge amount in points right now. They're only down by 3. As compared to what, 17 just a few seconds ago when we started talking about this?
Yeah, not a very long time at all.
Only a minute left on this cap. That's a huge swing. I actually want to pull up these scores again, see who kind of made that happen.
I think it was Vert W just walked onto the point and shotgunned everyone.
Yeah, Vert, 404 got 2 kills in that span. That's... Sharkspar didn't even Yoxin got 2 kills, so it looks like the light assault control may be helping Future Crew out a little bit more. Yoxin's doing a pretty good job of just hiding up here and waiting for light assaults.
McCock looks like he's crawling back to a positive KD after a 1-6 start. It's nice to see him brought back down to earth after the craziness out of him last week.
That was pretty absurd. And actually everybody on the team was pretty upset with him because he stole a lot of kills. He may say he didn't, but I assure you he did.
I don't know, man.
Anybody who ends the final game with 40 kills stole a lot of kills.
All right.
I was watching him in that building, and he was just a one-man wrecking machine.
All right, looks like McCock's actually switched to the barrage himself, so he's going dirty mode like Vert. But 18 seconds left on the cap, and they've gone into a point lead even, so this is looking pretty good for Future Crew. As long as GAB does... If they get this cap, this may actually just be the match.
This blows my mind. How quickly did we see Future Crew going from not able to get anywhere near the point to now they've got a base cap? What the hell happened?
A lot of shotguns by the look of things.
Yes, apparently the bane of men from the future is just barrages. Wow, we just saw McCock execute Kilos.
Chris, I'm going to blame that base loss on your lack of roof scat maxes. I think that's really where GAB failed.
As I said, I did my best. I passed the message on, but I can only do so much for you, mate.
Yep. And it looks like we lost Spedge. What happened to Spedge?
Yeah, he actually lost right at the start of the match. He disconnected. Hopefully he'll be back. Love to hear his wonderful voice. Actually, the only one here really with some probably casting experience.
Right, the most professional of us all. I hope he makes it back to save us from ourselves.
All right, so you're going to see Future Crew start to set up, like I was talking about, more of an aggressive hold here. Start to take these guys out before they, or try to anyway, take them out before they get across this bridge. And as long as Yoxin can kind of control the roof and not let Kello beat him, then I think Future Crew's a pretty good spot to just maybe trade out some kills and try to farm the rest of the 5 minutes left in this match, or half.
Yeah. Kello does a lot of work for us. He's really good at just jumping in and doing a lot of... Oh, there's a max on the point from Gab. Someone's been a max. Exo pulled the max. Been a professional
Now this might be a little off topic, but does anybody actually like the way the NC Maxes sound now?
No.
Not even at all. They sound
Nobody
like a max,
likes
and that's
that new
horrible.
sound.
Okay,
Yeah, it looks
I'll
like,
be just making sure.
Looks like Exo's rolling medics. Gotta assume he's rocking slugs. He should really, really be on the roof right now to make use of that range.
Be sure to demote him down to our suitable max using rank in the outfit when I get back on live, given that he's pulled on.
Alright, so it looks like some GAB person at least has pulled out a jackhammer to battle the barrage bullshit. We could just call it the barrage bullshit from the Future Crew heavies.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be Yod. I haven't seen him, but it will almost assuredly be Yod. He's been our shotgun professional.
So GAB has control of the point, and they do have enough time to cap. So there's 3:30 left in the match, 3:15 on the cap. The Future Crew basically just needs to tap it once or twice, and that'll make it so they can't. And then at that point, they can kind of... If you cap this base, you get the spawn room, and then you also get the teleporter room, which is conveniently in like the other corner. So
And
you have 3 angles to attack this base from. It's pretty hard to actually hold on to it.
yeah, having
once-
that spawn room right next to South Building makes it just like a few too many different ways for the enemy to come at you.
Yeah, once you get the base cap, the spawn room is just ridiculously strong.
Unfortunately for Exo's set, 404 got a SAR kill on him. He wasn't able to redeploy while he got hurt.
Ooh, that's a bad point give up there for Gab.
6 points for 404. Definitely needs the points. But there's a counter snipe from Solace. He does take out 404. And Callow does take out Yaxen, but there happens to be a second heavy on the roof, unfortunately for him, and Shark cleans it up. So now we're just kind of in a waiting game again for Gab of what can they do to try to... I mean, at this point they can't cap. They just have to try to get maybe some... It's actually good still to get a hold of the base. You can still get, you know... If you're up here, you get kind of in free kills in a lot of ways if you have a good hold.
Yeah, the issue with them trying to get up there and hold the point is...
Yeah, they have to do it rather than just give up a bunch of kills trying to take it. Like, if you're suiciding to get it, it's obviously not worth it. You can't cap it. But...
If it was me, I would be setting up camp and just not going anywhere near the point and trying to give up as little points as possible, because you can try and get your way onto the point, but you'll just get pushed off because they've got, you know, the spawn room, the teleporter, and this under to come from. And it's just too many different directions to try and hold from. You'd be better... I would think you'd be better off to just sort of sit out in the lake and try and avoid getting shot as much as possible, and, you know, not give up any points, or at least attempt to not give up any points.
So is there a second person that could possibly pull a bolt action and try to do some sniping to help Solus out in this situation? If you're actively really not trying to push in, like if you're just giving up kills that way, right? They're deaths. Is there someone else that could do it? Would it be best assassin?
Yeah, best would be to go to as a second infil. And then if you wanted to get really, you know, sort of into that sort of thing, both Callow and Kilos could do it too. But
Wow.
yeah, best would be the guy to go to if you wanted to.
So McCawk is just kind of going on a one-man barrage crew at the moment and just clearing people out. It kind of makes me sad to see shotguns used like this. I'm not certainly surprised on this base, but it's kind of a little disheartening. Makes me sad, just a little bit.
You know how it goes on live when the good players get pissed off, they pull cheese.
Yeah, they pull maxes. That's actually how it goes for Future Crew. Apparently here it's just shotguns. I'm actually kind of surprised though that there hasn't been many jackhammers pulled in response. I figure if you're gonna get, you know, kills by shotgun, you might as well go with the best shotgun.
Yep.
There's definitely been a couple of them trying. There's 2 jackhammers running into the basement main now. One in Glorious Palm Camo. It is... who is it? I think it's Kilos and Exo. Kilos and Yod running with jackhammers.
You know, Twitch chat brings up a very good point. You know, to try and get some extra teams into farmers for season number 3, let them know, hey, shotguns and maxes are all right and encouraged.
They are all right. All right, let's go to the halftime scoreboard here. Let's do a check-in again on how everybody's doing. Surprisingly, after how a little bit possibly slow Future Crew started, like Gab had a really good hold at the start. It seemed like it just turned on him like so fast, and they actually
there was-
managed to get a lot of points. So up to 175 to 128. Truth be told,
was
like
that-
that's what, less than 50 points. That's not an insurmountable lead for Gab.
That's a base cap and 10 kills, effectively.
Yeah, and which you'd get anyway if you're capping the base. So it's kind of
Yeah.
basically just if you can cap the base, you'll get that. I would definitely say that the McCock going 19-11 at the half, starting what was he, a 1 and a 6 start. I would say the barrage bullshit's definitely been working out for him. Same with Vert, 22 and 12. That's pretty huge for them. Those guys are definitely the ones standing out as far as the net score goes. I'm surprised that actually 404's net score is 0 with an 8 and 8 because he did kill that Max. So did he get a team kill there that I didn't notice?
He must have team killed.
Yeah, I
That's
think he would have to
probably the only
have.
thing he could have done. Yeah, that Gab had a good hold at the start, but once the barrage bullshit came out, I think they got wiped. Fully wiped. And as I was saying earlier, if you get fully wiped and you've got no building control, it's so hard to get back onto the point. And I think that's what happened. They just got wiped by 2 barrages. And I think 404 got a couple of kills in there too. And once that happened, they just couldn't get back onto the point.
So Yoxin's a -9, 7 and 12. I think actually, truth be told, for somebody that hasn't played in a really long time, and basically given strict instructions at the start of this match of just hold the roof, don't worry about anything else, don't let Callow rape us. Like that's, I think he's not doing that bad.
No, not bad at all.
Callow, I don't know what Callow's numbers are, but unless they're dumb, he's probably doing his job.
Callow's 15 and 13. He's not doing bad. He's still he's kind of trading up there, which, when you jump up and you kill the light assault and then die to a heavy, I guess that's kind of how things are going to go. Unfortunately,
Callow-
Shock is 7 and 14. Although he was 1 and 7 to start, something like that. So he's obviously picked it up. He kind of got into a groove. I would actually expect him to turn that around quite a bit in the second half. He came in kind of a little bit cold to this one, I believe, and all of his warm-up time was spent actually trying to teach Yoxin the actual base, since Yoxin had never even really been here before. So he kind of had to play the role of nanny. But Shock is actually, truth be told, we kind of giving him shit and following him around, whatever. But when it really comes down to it, he's, besides maybe McCock, he could be our best heavy, especially when it comes to a role of he's the best team player we have. Like McCock, usually you just kind of let him run free, do his thing. Shock actually is very dependent on the fact that if he goes somewhere and he's going to hold it, he will hold it. Like that, he does his job very well. Racks up a lot of kills
I'm
doing
not
it.
comfortable with all this being nice to Shock business, I'll be honest.
Well, it's not.
I'm here under the pretense that we can hang a lot of shit on Shock. That's why I'm here. I'm here to call him bad. I'm not all about you being nice to him, Tab.
Okay, well, once we get the match going, and if he starts doing the shitter roll, then we'll go back to that. But I just want to put it out there. We're not trying to pick on Shock. He is pretty good.
Why not?
All
You
right,
had to pick
fine,
on someone.
fine. Okay, he's fucking 7 and 14. He's a shitter with a -13. He's worst on his team. He's doing awful.
Yeah, that's
Really
fine.
good headshot percentage, though.
Oh, that's something to hang your hat on.
It is. When it's all you got, it is. I would hang my hat on it.
If we need someone to pick on from the Gab side of things, it would simply have to be Kilos because he's 12. That'd be my reason behind that. So or EXO for being the max shitty. One of the two.
I think he only got like 2 kills and died to a bolter. Yeah, that's pretty disgraceful.
What's the point of pulling the max if you're only going to get 2 kills?
To give
Astoundingly bad.
the other team 4 points. Well, that's 30 seconds. We'll get off the screen, but first, I actually want to point out Solace. So, I think this is actually the big key right now for Gab. He's got a lot of deaths. He's 6 and 13. That's not what you want from your sniper. I saw him running around at the bottom of the match a lot, like kind of in the bottom area, dying to shotguns, getting really kind of close. Is that something he likes to do normally, as compared to trying to get some range? Chris, do you have any?
Yeah, I was just waiting for the sorry. Solus really likes to get up close, and he's the type of player that if he thinks something should be pushed and no one else is doing it, he'll go and do it regardless of what class he's playing.
Wow, so
And
both snipers start off this match with a kill. 404 taking out Exo, Solus taking out Shark. I wonder how that will affect things. I think Exo is probably their carry right now, right? I mean, Shark's he's not the barrage guy. You don't want to be taking him out. Take out the other guys.
Exo is probably the carry, but I think that's probably a bit of simply just opportunity.
Oh yeah, of course. You get a kill there. If you get a kill, it's amazing. Otherwise, whatever. Just try to do some damage. I'm just kind of joking there. It looks like Yaxin's changed to a Lynx, and Kilos is using a jackhammer, and so is Yod. Looks like we're all shotguns. This is Farmer Shotgun Night. What have we started?
When you're in C, you can either be a shotgun or a cyclone.
Actually, did we see any cyclones in that first half? Did that actually happen?
I don't think so. As far as I know, a lot of the GAB guys aren't a massive fan of the cyclone.
Excuse me?
For farmers.
I find that to be baffling. Could you explain that?
Could you explain why you're bad?
I'm bad. I'm not on the team, so you could just not listen to me. But I don't know. I really, personally, I struggle a lot with the cyclone on Jaeger, and I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's got something to do with just the ping differential. It feels weird. I just can't make it work, and I think there's a couple of other guys that can't make it work either for whatever reason.
I know when we did scrims with you guys before, that Kilos using a cyclone was disgustingly evil. So I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't.
I think it might also be that there's a lot of long firing range on this base if you get control of it. Like, you can get a lot of easy kills if they're running through the wake or running to the point. So that could be why they're favouring the anchors, is I think what they're running. Largely anchors and a couple of jackhammers to hold the stairs.
I think we're actually all jackhammers now. It's everybody.
No, just giving up on shooting people in the lake. Just sit and shoot them with jackhammers at point blank range.
So Future Crew is, well, they've kind of been pushed out. They're flipping the point a little bit. Obviously, at the start of this timer, it's not too big of a deal because the timer's obviously working for both sides. But it looks like the jackhammers have kind of given them some easy control. They're doing some trades with barrages, but it's mostly just NC's the one that's kind of sticking around the point area.
Yeah, GAB just did a great job of clearing Future Crew off of the point. They've got at least 4 or 5. Yeah, they've got their whole team up. And a nice kill by Kalo on Yaxin right there on mid-roof. And Kalo is gone.
Well,
yeah, Kalo will...
Future Crew got two quick picks there. So 3 of them now, so there's actually kind of a window here to move in. The light assault's down, 2 of the jackhammer heavies are down. See if they actually do anything aggressive to try to stop these guys from coming back in.
If anyone's going to do something aggressive to stop the Future Crew guys getting back in, it'll be Solus. He'll be sitting somewhere dumb trying to man fight some heavies.
404 with another pick on Kalo, so as long as you're keeping that light assault down, I think you have a chance to kind of push into main and do some crazy stuff here.
Yeah, there was a rocket kill. There was a whole lot of trades going on there. I couldn't keep up with who it was, but there was some rockets and a sniper, I think.
Future Crew's kind of manning up at the bottom of main right now. Let's see if they can actually get up and flip this point.
Yeah, there's one heavy on it. They just took out Kilos on the point, and he's getting shot from short stairs.
Alright, so Bird has actually changed from a barrage, which he was making seem viable, to an armistice, which seems like a little bit of a downgrade. But you got a kill with it.
Interesting choice. Going from a skill cannon to an SMG is a weird option, but you know.
I don't have too much experience with the TR SMGs, but I don't think they're really all that great.
I don't think anybody's got too much experience with the TR SMGs now.
If you want to find out any info on those, you gotta go talk to the man E-Dubs, the resident expert on SMGs.
As far as I was aware, he only liked the NS7 though.
Yeah, he's a PDW guy. He doesn't care much for TR SMGs.
So GAB is, what was a 48-point lead, now it's down to less than 30. They've done a really good job of holding this at 45 seconds to cap, but basically what we said they needed to do, they've done. They're almost there.
Yeah.
Here comes Yaxin, and a Max.
Yeah, there's a Max. Got those new models for those whatever gun that is looks silly.
Did he take that rocket to the face, or did that
I think it caught him
just
with a
splashed
bit of
him?
splash. Just
He's
splashed
a
him. I
little bit
think.
damaged. Oh, Callow's coming in, killing the sniper. That's going to be basically probably stopping this push right now. They're getting behind.
Yeah, Callow will,
Oh my goodness, McCock.
Did he
Yeah,
miss all those
Callow-
shots?
No,
Ends up with
McCock
a
went in
light
a 3v1 on those stairs and took 2 of them with him.
Oh, that's his turn.
Gab
Oh,
gonna get
Yaxon
And
is
Yaxon
down.
died. So they got the cap, a full wipe, and a max kill. And now they have the lead. That's terrible, terrible work by Future Crew there. They just fell apart.
That turns
Yeah,
this into
I
a
think-
real freaking match right now. There is only a 16-point difference between the two. Oh, not even. I just saw the score flipped over on stream.
Yeah, Gab has a
got
lead.
the lead now.
They have a
think
10-point lead
Callow-
and the base.
I think Callow getting rid of the infill really hurt Future Crew there.
Yeah, they definitely did. And just even the threat of coming behind kind of gave them a little bit of a pause on there.
Yeah,
Like making
and-
McCock go 3v1 instead of the max kind of getting in there.
Yeah, that's something that Callow's really good at. If he feels he's got control of the route, like if he kills the enemy light assault, he knows he's got at least 20 seconds where there's not going to be a light assault to contest with him. So he's effectively got free reign for 20 seconds, and he'll definitely jump on a heavy's head or someone's head and try and kill them to give our heavies a much easier time of life.
So that was a 60, 70-point swing in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And truth be told, Future Crew had the choice of Sunderers for this like the match. So I believe that they felt that this was the strong half for them.
It's interesting because in our practice games that we had, we found that the Sunder and Gab have at the minute to be the weaker one. That's what our practices showed. Like everybody on that side, the northeastern side, Sunder really struggled to get onto the point.
Yeah, and I believe AC saw the same. That Northern Sunday is the weaker side. So
Yeah.
crazy right now. I mean, this is unbelievable play out of Gab to have taken the point, taken the lead. This is unreal. I mean, from a 50-point swing, I can't believe it. Tev, is Shaq leading the team right now and has full panic set in as this score widens?
I don't
Shot
imagine
pulled 'em
that full panic has set in, but they're probably starting to might be a little bit of a breakdown in communication. Some of these guys start to not be as vocal when it's not going perfect. But hopefully Shock is actually a really good leader, and I'm sure what he's telling these guys now is the reality of the situation. Look, we're down. We can't really expect to get the base back. What we need to do is grind out the lead that they have in kills. We just need to start trading out and doing a better job.
Chris, I love where I see Best Assassin posted right now. I mean, he's preventing any sort of movement towards mid-building and kind of forcing Future Crew to have to go towards south. But they're not. Instead, Future Crew is making a rush for Best Assassin. He's about to go 1v3. Oh, and he lost the first one.
Where was Best?
He was actually closer to the Northern Sunday on this ridge.
He was sitting up there sniping at them as they crossed through the lake, was he?
Yeah,
Now,
just
I'd
harassing
have
with
to
an anchor.
confirm with the refs, but I believe actually Future Crew just broke the out-of-bounds rules by going over that hill like they did to kill him.
I'll be lodging a formal complaint, don't worry, mate. You'll be out of your own league.
That's exactly what this match needs, is a little bit of
little
legal
controversy.
drama for
Well, that only helps them if they actually win the match. If they cheat and lose, that doesn't help anybody.
No,
That's no
cheat and
fun.
lose, I'll still be I'll be making official reports and heads will roll, mate.
Well, don't worry. It's caught on stream. Everybody will see what happened here. They went over the grassy knoll and they took them out.
taking a look at the points. McCock is kind of going nuts. He's at 58 points at least, if not 60 now. Vert's right behind him at around 50. What are they doing? And why is Future Crew losing with these two players going bananas on kills?
Unfortunately, it looks like the recovery that Shock started to make in that first half has not gone very well for him. He's slipped down to 11 from 25, minus 27 net score. He's definitely filling the tab shoes right now. Maybe I should have swapped him out for a different person so he wouldn't have that curse on him.
He's just busy leading the troops, right?
Yeah, it's actually as sad as it is. Sometimes when you play with guys like Yaxon and Vert and even McCock at times, You have to almost just stare at the map to make sure that they're not just going Dora the Explorer.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's something that we as being GAB generally don't have an issue with it. For things like that, everybody's pretty good with the whole talking to each other and telling each other what they're doing. Even when we're having a bit of a horrible time of it, it generally doesn't happen too badly, unless people are getting farmed by shotguns.
And then it starts to break down. I think that happens to everybody actually. When you start dying to shotguns a lot, you get pretty angry.
In our semi-final game with RSNC in our Australian season, we almost lost simply because shotguns were getting kills and people were getting rather irate about it. And rather than saying, yes, there's a man with a shotgun behind that corner, it was exclusive shotguns. And
Yeah,
when
you start to get that a lot actually with cyclones, which since there hasn't really been any. I'm surprised
I think
they're
they've
possibly
decided
this
that they've
angry.
pulled the jackhammers so they can't justify the amount of cheese that jackhammers and cyclones would be. Got to
Wow.
make it a fair and level playing field. And there's Shot getting a kill.
Talking about this match, I mean, we're looking at the time.
Yeah,
Future Crew doesn't have time to pick up a base cap, or
Yeah,
it's
they're-
very, very close. If they want to get on there, they need to do something. I mean, they should have really considered getting another max out there already.
Well, after how the last one went, I don't know if that would be a good idea, especially when you're just trying to climb. You have no chance of a capture, and you're kind of you pulling the gap of like 30 points. You're trying to close that a little bit. Like you don't want to max because A, if they're getting kills, it's less points, and B, if they die, it's a huge amount of work that you just lost.
Right, right.
And it could
they,
just be simply that they lost track of time.
The
They
point
thought
is
they might have had a
flipping.
little bit longer to work with than they did, because it's when you're
Oh.
playing these things, it's a 15-minute half, but when you're playing, it really doesn't feel like 15 minutes unless you're watching a clock. It's it goes really quickly, especially if you're on the rough end of things, because you're locked out of the corner or something. It gets you lose track of time and you think you've got 5 minutes and you've got 2.
Yeah, with not enough time for Future Crew to get a base cap, they really need to go nuts on the kills right now. They have what is that, about a 40-point gap to make up. It's 20
And
kills
a
to pick
lot
up.
of barrages.
Unfortunately, there's little to no chance of that actually happening just because of the
Come
way
on,
the
Tav.
base is designed. It's unfortunate. There's 2 minutes left. They're down by 35 points. Like I don't want to call it right now, but it's kind of the reality of the situation. You don't need to sugarcoat it too much. They'd have to.
We saw
Look,
magic
it's
happen
possible.
in the first half where Future Crew just completely turned things around on Gab. It can happen. I believe in the power of Future Crew. You can do this.
Yeah, but that's
I
also assuming that GAB is just dumb and just single file lock steps into their guns instead of just shooting them with jackhammers, which is apparently what we're watching right now.
I think Yod's got his eye dialed in with the jackhammer and he's really feeling it at the minute.
Yeah, he definitely is. It's a little unfair actually.
During all our practice games, Yod was sitting on the main stairs with that jackhammer, and it was dirty. Like, it's so hard to deal with because you try and fight him, and even if someone calls that he's tagged up, and you go in trying to finish him off, all he needs to do is put that jackhammer on triple fire mode, and he'll one shot you through your heavy shield, and it's
True.
you've got no idea.
I gotta say though, even though it looks like Future Crew is gonna lose in this last minute, I think that they've done an amazing job. I didn't necessarily expect like a total blowout, but missing Stuke, missing going against GAB, who reportedly was kicking the crap out of AC on this base, supposedly.
Well, it was we beat AC, but it was a bit of I wouldn't say a B team, but it wasn't their sort of starting 6.
No, it was. I mean, I believe AC had, everybody that went against you guys in that scrim, I'm pretty sure we're on the actual roster.
Was it okay? It's just there was a few practice accounts being used, so I was assuming it kind of wasn't your running 6. But
Going into this week, I fully believe that GAB was the strongest on this map. It was clear that their practice had paid off and that they knew what they were doing on this map. So for Future Crew to have come and put up this good of a showing without their starters, without their A team, it's very impressive.
yeah, they've done well.
Honestly, I expected a win after that first half. Like, this looked good. These guys got the
That was
cap. They
fun.
got a huge lead. they're going to the good side that apparently they think of. Like, what could possibly go wrong? And unfortunately, we
Yeah.
saw it. Jackhammers.
Turns out
This-
the bad side was the good side.
This performance is exactly what we were expecting out of this match between Future Crew and GAB. An amazing back and forth fight that really came down to the wire.
Yeah, that was a hell of a comeback by Gab to be down by 50, go in the second half, clean it up almost immediately, and then just grind out another 50-point lead on
walk it
top
out,
of it.
yeah.
Like that's really good work by them. It's it's an unfortunate loss for Future Crew, but kind of my dream is setting in right now of we having 3 teams at the top with 1 loss at the end. So just need Future Crew to beat EC and we'll see how it goes with actual tiebreakers. That could be interesting.
Yep, very nice job by GAB to keep themselves in the top half of the season standings. Future Crews, this will keep Future Crew. You're still at number 2 now, right? With AC firmly in first place.
I'd have to look at the scores, but I believe so. They should be ahead of GAB in the tiebreakers by maybe 10 points. We'll get into the standings in a little bit. I kind of want to look at these rosters. Solus, he didn't have a better second half, but he didn't have a worse one either. He kind of just stayed steady of where he was, had a little bit of better performance. I don't know if that happened to be because they basically had control of the point side almost the entire half.
Yeah. The thing with Solus is, while his numbers might not always be, huge like some of the other infalls, he does a lot of work with the EMPs and the dildos, and because he knows everybody in this is a heavy, and they're largely all running with his shield, they'll all have their shields up at every moment. So he'll just go for body shots largely. If it's not a clear headshot that he'll get a kill with, he'll body shot them and then call it, and one of the heavies will clean it up. So he feeds the heavies like Exo and Kilos and Yod and etc. so many easy kills simply based off him body shotting people.
Yeah, he's definitely, as far as score goes, he's the lowest, and everybody else is just like it seems like maybe he picked everybody else's game up because they're all pretty close in the 50 to 60 range. 13 difference between 5 other players. That's not a lot. It seems like everybody just kind of played their part and did what they needed to do to take control in that second half. I think Callow is probably the big one here. He was 15 and 13 in the first half to finish 32 and 23. That's a very large difference. It's what, 17 and 11 or something like that?
He must have got the better of Yoxin and just got a few cheap kills on heavies looking the wrong direction and all that sort of thing done for him.
Yeah, Yoxin definitely seemed like he had a little bit of a worse second half, but yeah, I think he still probably did pretty good for what people asked of him in this match to replace Stuke. McHawk still had a very good time, 70 points, 20 net score on a losing side. Like, that's still really good, 36-25. A lot of it is, man mode with a barrage.
On the losing side of a map like this where you just get locked out.
Yeah. Even Vert, 28-28. It's a lot of deaths, but it's still a lot of kills. I guess everybody has a lot of deaths on here. It's kind of a grindy map. Well,
Yeah, especially when you got to consider that they were kind of, they effectively got farmed for the entirety of that second half, just trying to get back into the point. They were just getting shot from roofs and trees and rocks and bridges and everywhere when they were trying to cross through the lake.
yeah, unfortunately for Shock, I do believe he was cursed by taking my spot and taking the shitty role of somebody else, which is usually me. But he also wasn't.
On the team.
I expected him to kind of be in a position where he could take advantage of some good holds. I know he likes to hold in one of these buildings. It's kind of down low and farm it up pretty good. And they never really had an opportunity. All these guys, obviously their scores are a lot worse, besides maybe McCox, but they were always the ones running to the base rather than trying to farm the base. And that's kind of basically what it shows here. It's a tough loss for each crew. They're going to be going to 2-1 now. This is what the standings look like. This is alphabetical. I believe Future Crew would still be probably about 10 points. They should have like a 60-point lead over GAB or before this match. So yeah, about 10-point lead. Blop would be in 4th as that last playoff spot. Ban and Solex unfortunately both lost last night, so they're 0-3. And AC remains the undefeated team. They face Band next week.
That's correct. They face Band at Kessel's Crossing. Kessel's Crossing going to be the map next week, folks. It's going to be amazing. That map is very weird.
Yeah, that's The reason GAB put a lot of practice in on this map was simply because the first time I looked at it, I thought, oh bloody hell, that's going to be a rough map. And then I went and looked at Kessel and went, oh bloody hell, that's going to be a rough map. So we put a lot of time in on this one, but we'll have to hopefully put as much time in on Kessel's in the next week to
And
work out
GAB
all
faces
the.
Sol X, right? I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I think
after
we've
Sol
got
X's performance against AC,
Yeah, we've had a lot of well, we had a lot. We had 2 or 3 scrims with Solex on Wokuk. So I think both of us got a lot out of those scrims, given that they were able to, go toe to toe with AC, and we were able to edge you guys out. It shows that, knowing the map is a big thing, given especially some of the weird spots that you can sit on a map like this. It just gives you a feel for where people might be, actually being able to play it rather than just, having to walk around it and look at it.
so look at the standings now. Blop and Future Crew both 2-1, and going to the next week thing here. Blop actually faces Future Crew. Is obviously the last match that we didn't mention. That's the first match for the Thursday night next week. If Blop manages to pull off a victory against Future Crew, and on Kessel's, who knows what could happen? That map is a nightmare. If they beat them, then Future Crew will be sitting 2-2 with facing AC in that last week. Like that could be pretty rough. Nah,
That'll be delicious for AC to see you guys fighting for a well,
playoff
not
spot,
necessarily a
but
playoff spot, but for the rankings for the seedings for the playoffs. Oh, AC would absolutely love that.
what actually would be interesting going into that would be if Future Crew's 2-2 facing AC, they basically are deciding who plays each other first in the playoffs, most likely, because obviously first seed would be playing the fourth seed, and that could, if Future Crew's 2-2, that could be just them. Could be AC versus Future Crew in the first round of playoffs, which would be fantastic. I'm saying that kind of sarcastically. It would actually be an unfortunate matchup for probably both teams to worry about that in the first one, but I don't know, that week 5 afterwards, man, that's going to mean a lot. But first we have to do this match next week. Blop Future Crew, Band AC, and then GAB Solex. I wouldn't expect necessarily too much from Band in this one, just because this is AC's playground, and I believe Maxi is going to be making his triumphant return to AC.
That is the rumor. I don't want to spoil anything just yet, but it is a strong possibility.
Well, I already had the
that
rosters
Maxi will
given
make
to
his
me.
return.
He's coming back. I don't know if he'll play in the match, but that is Kessel's is Maxi's playground. That's if he's back and in that match, I deeply apologize to Band. That's going to be rough.
If Maxi's coming back, I'm glad we played them in week 1, so we don't have to deal with him until the finals if we get there.
I have personally scrimmed against Maxi on Kessel's Crossing, and he is freaking terrifying. He comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've heard stories, and I just don't want to deal with it. So, this comes down to this next week and see how things go, but playoffs are almost kind of basically set. I think both of those teams now that are 0-3, I think they've officially been... I guess they would have to both win their last 2 matches, and they actually play each other.
Some magic would have to happen somewhere.
Yeah, it would be pretty rough. I guess Solex still has a chance, as long as if they can put in the time. I think they can give GAB a decent run on this map, so they're not out of the money yet.
Yep, they are not eliminating yet. They just need to pick up 2 wins and hope for 2 losses from either GAB's Future Crew or Blop.
Man, that could be.
That can happen. Don't you guys get
No, it definitely
too
could.
comfortable yet?
Although I don't necessarily feel that good for Blop at this point, because after this loss, Future Crew's not going to be very happy. And we saw what happened last time Future Crew lost. They ran the table and just kicked the shit out of everybody except for Recursion when they faced them again, which was kind of another story. But I don't know. These guys are going to come back. Their feelings are going to be hurt. They died to a lot of jackhammers. They're going to be angry, and an angry McHawk and an angry Vert. I don't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be Blop. But it could be a good match, regardless. I'm sure Blop will put their time in and all that fun stuff. So we're going to call it here instead of rambling on. So that's kind of what we're doing at this point. Do you guys have anything to say? Anything to shout out, look forward to? Anyone to say goodbye to?
Yeah. Thanks for watching and all that sort of stuff. It was
I would
good
like to. I'd like to send out a congratulations to AC for being the first team to lock up a playoff spot.
It's true, they are officially in.
Could just phone it in for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'd say do it.
Get
Make things
super
really
meta about
interesting.
who they want to face in the finals and intentionally throw games, then bet their skins on it.
Well, all right. So I believe I actually might be here again next Friday with you guys. I think Shock might have real life commitments again. We mentioned it before. I'm not quite sure. So you might have to deal with me yet again next week, to everybody's loss, I'm sure. But Shock will be back Thursday, and I'll hopefully be playing. But
Shock and decent camera work.
yeah, decent. Oh god, I'm sure my camera work was the worst. Like they absolutely. It's funny. I would get to these moments. We probably don't even need to talk about this right now. But I'd be looking at my scoreboard, and my camera probably was just looking at nothing for a while. And if we had a drinking game, I'm sure people are quite toasted at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna drop some music. We're gonna end this instead of, like I said, rambling on. Thank you guys for showing up. Thanks, Chris, for kind of filling in tonight. Unfortunately, Spadge disappeared, and you got to fill in as the
real life
man from the
rapidly
future.
for him.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. So actually, you want to come back next week? I don't think Spadge will be here either. I guess you might be playing. Who knows?
I might be getting a run next week. I'm not sure, but if I'm not getting a run, I'll be around to come here and shoot the shit.
Probably have to conscript one of you guys just so we can have somebody with a fancy accent talking about your silly GAB team.
I wouldn't say it's fancy, but yeah, righto.
All right. Okay, so throwing up music. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Follow, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Sound muted.